49ers dominated their first matchup against the Cardinals. Can Arizona even the score? Find out next on Madden NFL 22.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Murray. This one into the hands of the running back, Ballage. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And they're going to face a third down. Murray now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. First carry for Raheem Mostert. This will go for 5 up to the 33. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jones. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This take it in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. This is caught inside the 15. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Trey Sermon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They run it with Balaj. And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And that will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Arizona would give them the season sweep.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. That's complete out left to Ayuk. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Lance, a handoff here to Mostert.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it 2nd down and 12.
Off of play action, here's Lance. That'll be complete to Sermon.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
Touchdown, 49ers! George Kittle with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run here with Balaj.
These 2 teams getting a couple of late-season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Murray going to throw. Flush to his right.
And Murray with a smart move there at the end of the play. Picks up the first down and then slides to the ground.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Murray fighting, lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And the Cards are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. Broken tackle. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
What you got, huh?
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Kyler Murray going to lead the Cardinals back out on offense.
I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. And he coughed it up. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cardinals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And Murray with a smart move there at the end of the play. Picks up the 1st down and then slides to the ground.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Murray. He finds his man complete. It's Porter. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Out of the gun, here's Murray. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
So we have reached half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end.
No, sir. No, sir.
Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Murray. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he's going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray, and that's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Samson Abukum able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll set up the screen to Balaj. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's taken to the 26. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Lance. And he will find his man Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Yannick Ngakoue just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps back?
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray, he finds his man, complete. It's Porter.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Balaj. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. Now Murray. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Balaj. Now he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over, is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Lance now to throw. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there for the Niners. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The 49ers are going to turn over the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. From the right hash, this from 33. Butker's kick here is good. And that will get the lead up to 14.
So that, maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is end of the weekend in the NFC. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And this one is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Now left side on the swing pass. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cards have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 44. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Fights loose. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Lance looking to throw it.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Cards are right back in this football game.
Back to throw. Murray. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down now, but that clock rolling. Murray to throw. His throw incomplete. So he was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. To throw is Murray. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Murray's got to have this one. Able to find Isabella. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. He finds his man complete. It's Porter. And he's got this down to the 35. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. Now Murray. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Back to throw. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance.